So as some of you may know, we can now officially test out the raid that Bethesda just added to Fallout 76 in the PTS, the public test server. I'm glad Bethesda decided to look back into the raids and, you know, try them out again in the game, because they really outdid themselves with this one compared to the old one that we experienced, the Vault 94 raid. So many different unique features and enemies that we take on and mechanics. It genuinely feels challenging and a unique experience going through it. Reminds me a little bit of how Destiny raids are and how they're set up. Even when we die, you know, during this raid, one of the unique things is that we actually stay dead until we either surpass that segment of the raid or our whole team ends up dying. Then we can officially respawn. Just like how Destiny 1 and 2 raids are. Those are the only two ways to respawn once we die in the raid, which I like that. You can't revive your teammates. You guys really got to think about a strategy going through this, which I'll be sharing some further in this video. So in this video, we're just going to be talking about the raid and going over each segment of the raid as well. It's going to be a complete guide on how to get through it too. Also, we're going to be going over all of the rewards that you can get from each part. There are some insane rewards that you're going to want to get your hands on from this. I gotta give credit where credit is due. I wouldn't be able to share this information if it wasn't for a guy that goes by Nuka Knights letting me use his data mined information over the rewards from each part. So yeah, big thank you to him for allowing me to share this information to more players. I'll have a link down below in the description to his website and his YouTube channel. He is a huge help for the Fallout 76 community. Speaking of the community, I wouldn't have even been able to get through this if it wasn't for some PC players I randomly met in the public test servers, such as like Cogs Fix More and Big Boss VR. Cogs Fix More specifically gave me a bunch of stuff to help beef up my character so I would be able to help more in the raid. Gotta give credit to the community too. I'll have the tags down below in the description over players that randomly decided to help me through it, even though my PC account is a lower level. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this comprehensive video over the new raid in Fallout 76. Hope you all find this video enjoyable, and if you do, consider leaving a like on the video. First off, the raid is going to be located down here when it does officially come out in the game. It's called the Gleaming Depths. This is our first raid that we have gotten, and I think, once again, Bethesda did an awesome job of doing this. I genuinely had a good time going through it. Overall, I mean, I will say it was difficult. Don't get me wrong, it was difficult. And yeah, it's located right here next to Striker Row. And also what made the raid difficult was the unique features that it has in it, the unique mechanics and stuff. It does take teamwork to get through this. And there are enemies in this that will kill you in one hit no matter what, no matter how tanky you are, which is cool, I think. So yeah, I just showed you all where it's located at, where you can go and join it. And I will also say they are releasing a new public team option too. When you go to create a team, you can now choose to make a public team called Raids, and this will grant you bonus weapon durability while in a raid. Yeah, speaking of weapon durability, you're going to be using a lot of ammo, and there are certain parts where you'll have to use ammo and not melee. So for all you melee users, keep that in mind, like when you're versing the snake. You're gonna have to use ammo going up against the Ultracite terror. Oh my gosh, this thing is a terror, no kidding. But yeah, over here at the raid location, there's a hub where you can, you know, fix up your stuff and whatnot before going in. And also, this is the entrance to it too. This is probably a good area to try to team up with players and stuff. If you make a camp around this area, you're gonna be making loads of business, loads, especially if you're selling like ammunition, because whoo, this is an ammo dump in here. Yeah, this is like the hub area where they got a little bit of everything at. And I've seen camps like placed right around in this area over here. I'm pretty sure you can make a camp over here. Let me just check that out real quick. So right here, you can make a camp. And the entrance in that hub area was right over there. Yeah, the entrance is literally right there where those big rocks are. So yeah, you can make a camp really close to here. Oh yeah, they did add also text to speech in PC, so now I can like say things, as you can see, people on PC, which is really handy because I don't really ever have my mic in on PC especially. But yeah, this is the entrance. This is where it spawns, down here in the ash heap. And this is what it looks like walking down into it. It really did feel like a whole little adventure going through this. There's like so much to explore even after you defeat each certain part. It kind of reminded me of Destiny raids, honestly. Like, I don't know, the way you just ventured through this. And also when you die too, like you all gotta die, like wipe, to reset the thing. Because once you're dead, you can't be revived or anything. Just like how Destiny raids are, you know? I thought that was really cool. But yeah, obviously when you die though, you once you get done, if you complete that part, you'll be revived. So speaking of that, doesn't mean you're dead forever throughout the whole raid if you die once in this, but at each segment, if you die, you stay dead until either your team all dies or your team gets through it and completes it. Then you'll be able to respawn. Also, keep in mind, if you do want to leave the raid, like you want to log out because you got something else to do, or you just simply run out of ammo and you can't really do it anymore, don't worry, your progress will be checkpointed, so you'll be able to leave off exactly where you was. So, yeah, that's nice. But yeah, this is another little hub area right before you enter the first boss fight. I'll be getting into the first boss fight here in a second and how you beat it. I know I've said this multiple times, but Bethesda did do a great job with this. There are some problems, obviously, they need to fix. It did just come out in the PTS. But overall, the experience, I had a blast. It's genuinely fun, guys.
This is an automated message. Evacuation is in progress. Please proceed to the nearest exit in an orderly manner.
But yeah, this is the first boss. I'm solo, so obviously I'm about to get slaughtered. But this is what it looks like. It's an Enclave robot. And keep in mind, you got to talk with your team about setting up before you activate this robot. Since we're here at the first boss, might as well just talk about how to beat it. So this is where you officially start up the area here, so you can make this boss fight active. And before you even touch this button, you want to have your team set up. And by set up, I mean have one player or two players go upstairs here and another player at that back wall over there where it says A. This is a setup that worked for my team. We were in different directions of this robot. So have like one player up there somewhere, another player up here somewhere on that side, another player over there, once again at A, and another player, whoever started the button, over here. And you're going to be using these pillars as defenses. And yes, these pillars can be destroyed over time, but look at their levels. Yeah. They have some serious defense. They could take some serious damage, but they can be broken down. But the idea is, once you have your setup on point, to start doing damage to the robot. Eventually, the people that are up on the catwalks are going to have to come down, and these doors are open. It'll either be B, which is right there, A, which is right here where we entered, or C, which is right here. Once you do enough damage, or once the sequence ends, one of the doors will open. You'll have to run to that. If you don't make it through the door in time, you're gonna die. Everyone who's outside will die. No matter how tanky you are, you're dead. Which I think is awesome. I think that is so awesome. Once again, these remind me of Destiny raids, and I was a huge Destiny fan back in the day. I made tons of Destiny content, and I can genuinely say the features and mechanics, they really, got the raid feel. This has the raid vibe. I think they did a solid job with it, with gameplay wise, as much as they could for a Fallout game, But yeah, over time I can see more raids being made and more new ideas coming to them and stuff like that. This is just the first one, and I think it's good, solid. So that's a little setup that you're gonna do, and how you deal damage to the robot. On the back of it is its shield. You're gonna have to destroy the thing on the back of the robot. Just target that, and you will notice that he's going to change direction. So that's the reason why we did this setup here. So someone's over here shooting at it right now. Oh yeah, look at me, and dealing out as much damage as they can. And eventually that robot's going to turn to them. That's when you want to hide behind this pillar, dodge it, or you could try to run too, whatever. You're distracting it though, so your other teammates that are on the other side over there are able to deal damage to it. Even the one right here could see the thing on the back. That person over here will just have to move a little bit over, right over there, to deal some damage while it's sitting there shooting at us up here, while its back is facing those players. So that's the reason why a setup like that could work. Or you could do 2 and 2. 2 players could be on this side, 2 players on that side. Whoever presses the button just comes to the one side that only has 1 player. As you know, it's a 4-man raid. So yeah, keep in mind though, once you're dead, you're dead. You're going to have to just wait it out. You can scroll through what other players are doing, which also reminded me of Destiny raids too. I mean, it's just the little things that I was noticing. But yeah, anyways, once you take down the robot's shield, the next job is just to shoot the robot, the Enclave bot. And then after a certain amount of time, the bomb sequence thing is going to happen where you're going to have to go through one of these bay doors and get to safety. I don't know which one will open. It's randomized, I believe. So just, run to the area. Say like this door's open. I'm over here before my teammates. Pull up your emotes and say, follow me. Get over here, guys. Hurry. This is the right door. You're letting your teammates know. It's an easy thing that'll pop up on the screen so other players can come over here. Because players are scattering, trying to look for where the safety is, Because if you're not in that safe area, you're dead. And, yeah, then you're just waiting and watching and missing out on the action. Eventually, I also noticed that there wasn't a way to get back up to the catwalk, so you will have to stay low eventually, and he'll be shooting missiles and stuff like that. And you can't really get close to him either because this floor is just all electricity. So it's mainly dealing out damage at afar to him. At least from my experience of what I experienced going through this. So, yeah. Either way, you're just going to have to deal out some damage from afar. Take out his shield by shooting the things on his back. And then actually damage the Enclave bot. And then run to safety. And then rinse and repeat that over and over until it's dead. So yeah, that's the first boss. And here's all the rewards that I got from defeating it. Keep in mind the developers did mention that the rewards were bugged at the moment. I think they have plans where we're going to be getting more rewards for getting through these. But at the moment, this is what I got. Not so much. It'd be nice if we could get back some more ammo for completing each of these bosses because, whew, do you use a lot of ammo when taking these on. But yeah, anyways, here's a list of all of the rewards that you can get from this first boss. This is the data mine information that I was talking about that Nuke and Knights did. I'm not taking credit for this data mine, just letting y'all know. Same goes for all the other data mine rewards too from each part of this raid. Big thanks to him for helping me compile this video together. But yeah, as you can see, some of the unique things that you can get from this are legendary shards, the Vulcan power armor and mods for it, which is the new power armor that will come from this raid. This is what it looks like. It's freaking insane. And here are the stats and effects on the power armor. Keep in mind that you can potentially get this power armor from completing any of the segments of the raid. You'll have a potential chance of getting a power armor piece. But yeah, it comes with a set bonus once you do get it all. It'll come with plus 25% action point regeneration rate, plus 25% fusion core duration, negative 7% incoming damage, and negative 15% incoming radiation damage. Overall, this power armor is looking tanky. Also, you have a potential chance to get a unique 4-star weapon called the Valkyrie from this. And here's the effects on it. It has plus 50% damage to robots, plus 25% weapon speed, 10% chance to cause the player to be invisible for 2 seconds when hitting a target. When crippling limbs, they explode and deal up to 150 explosion damage to nearby targets. Weapon breaks 50% slower, and it also comes with lower hipfire accuracy. And this is a heavy energy weapon. Also, another reward that you can get is the camp plan for the Guardian Bot Raid Trophy. This seems like a guaranteed reward if you manage to beat this first boss, and this is something that you can place in your camp. So it's kind of like a status thing where you'll be able to show players that you ended up defeating this in the raid. Anyways, once you beat this first boss, you'll then have to traverse deeper inside this place by going through these doors that were inaccessible before. And yeah, this will lead you down to the next segment of the raid. There'll also be a hub before you take on this segment. Actually, might as well just say this. Before each segment that you take on in the raid, there will be a place where you can fix your stuff up. Like if you want to change your setup or get something out of the stash box or maybe repair or make some ammunition or whatever. There'll be all kinds of different things available for doing each part. Anyways, at this next segment, this is going to be a lot of running and defending. But I'm also going to be giving you some power tips that will help you beat this easily. So in order to start this up, you're going to have to go over here and press this button. You'll notice that there's a fuel deposit right below this button. So yeah, you may be on to what we already have to do. We have to collect fuel and deposit it in this fuel deposit. And by doing that, we'll power up this drill here, which, speaking of this drill, we're going to have to protect it. If it gets destroyed, you'll fail and everyone will just reset back at the hub area. You know, the place right before doing the segment. So yeah, basically just have 3 runners and just 1 person defending the drill. there's going to be loads of enemies trying to attack the drill over time. And a power tip that you want to keep in mind, you can heal this drill with medics. I don't know if this is intended by the developers or this will be patched out by the time it comes out fully. I'm not sure, but at the moment you are able to heal the drill, which is freaking amazing. So the person who's defending the drill, just make sure you have a medic's weapon or something that's able to heal things available to hot swap to. So when the drill starts getting low, just heal it real quick. But anyways, carrying on, the fuel runners, you're going to have to collect fuel, obviously. But the thing is, it's not as easy as it seems. There's also going to be this insanely powerful mole miner that's going to be running around in these tight corridors where you have to go to collect the fuel over time. It is freaky. Some of you may be thinking, what's so freaky about that? Well, the thing is, you can't kill these mole miners at all. They're invincible. And to top it off, if one of them hit you, you die in one hit. No matter how tanky you think you are, you die. So I actually think this is really cool. Once again, it's one of these one-hit things. It feels different than the usual gameplay that we experience in Fallout 76. We have to run through these tight corridors and collect this fuel, as well as trying to dodge this mole miner. You want to make sure you just avoid him at all costs and avoid the tunnels that he is in. Keep in mind, the further time goes on within this segment, there's going to be more of these powerful mole miners that can kill you in one hit and are invincible. I've seen some players confused on this part on, why am I just getting taken out immediately? That's why. It's literally a mechanic in the game from this mole miner that's invincible to us at the moment. You're going to see what its weakness is in the future of this raid though. But at the moment, we just come across this and realize it's invincible. But further in this raid, we discover how to defeat these things, which I think is kind of cool. It kind of leads up to what we're about to experience. But yeah, once you get the drill fully fueled up, it will then dig a tunnel down to the next area, which is awesome. As you see, here's what the tunnel looks like walking through it. Gotta say, that's pretty cool. Like I said, this is like a whole little adventure that you go on within this. There's also lore pieces that you can pick up too, like certain holotapes that explain the backstory and terminals that you can get on that explain the backstory over what's going down in here and stuff. But I'm not going to be getting into that in this video. I'm just kind of keeping it straightforward over the whole raid experience in general and how to take on each part. But yeah, speaking of taking on each part, here's what I got for taking on the drill segment. Keep in mind that these rewards are more than likely going to be buffed in the future. So yeah, those are the rewards I got, but here are all the potential rewards that you can get from this segment. You can get the recipe for the Enclave Epsilon Squad Scout Armor Paint. You also get legendary shards from this too. You also have a potential chance of getting some of the Vulcan Power Armor pieces, and you'll have a chance to get another unique weapon called the Drill Fist. And the effects on this look really awesome as well. As you can see, it comes with plus 50% armor penetration, plus 50% limb damage, plus 3 to strength. Another effect, when dealing damage, 50% chance to not use action points, 10% chance for auto melee weapons, 2 bleed damage per second for 5 seconds, and -5 durability with 20 fire damage for 3 seconds too. This thing looks like a beast of a melee weapon. All these new weapons that we can get from this raid are looking great. Also, I got another trophy plan too that I can place at my camp. As you can see, it's a drill. But yeah, I think that about covers that section of the raid. Once you complete that one and traverse down through the tunnel, you'll eventually come across another hub area right for the next big challenge in the raid. So go ahead and get yourself set up for this next big part. During this part, we're going to have to take on 3 very strong Enclave members. All of these guys are wearing power armor, and they have different combat styles. One will be close range, one is using an explosive, and another is using a laser weapon. So a good strategy to take these guys on before starting this part by pressing the button, you want to have your team set up. And by that I mean one team member go over to A, another go over to B, and another go over to C. At each area, you're going to have to destroy these generators, and that's how you're able to deal damage to the Enclave squad. If the generators are not destroyed, you won't be able to deal damage to these guys. So a good starting strat is to destroy the generators as soon as you press the button. And check this out. You can be successful at taking out the first Enclave member really fast. This is a good, strong start if all of you guys team up on them as soon as you destroy the generators. You just want to be sure not to press the button until everyone is set up. So that leaves you with only 2 of the Enclave squad members alive. But keep in mind, you won't always take out the first Enclave member quickly, but this does drain its health tremendously. It's going to help you get a great start. Anyways, eventually repair bots are going to start coming in and repairing the generators. And how you know when a generator is repaired, it'll be announced first off, and also the light will turn from red to the normal color it starts out as. When the lights are red at the area, say like I'm looking over at A and the lights are red, that means that generator is destroyed. But if they're not red, that means it's up and running, which is not good, because that means the squad is invincible until all of the generators are destroyed. So keep that in mind. More than likely, there's going to be repair bots over at the area where the lights aren't. Peace. You want to make sure you have at least one guy going around taking on the repair bots, and the other team members focusing up on the Enclave squad members. You could switch it up where 2 people are looking for the repair bots and 2 guys are dealing damage to the Enclave members. But yeah, there's tons of repair bots that'll keep spawning in over and over and over. It's good to keep taking them out because, you know, if they repaired the generator, they become invincible again and you can't deal damage to the Enclave members. But yeah, that's how that works. You just keep destroying the generators and the repair bots and then deal damage to the 3 Enclave members. It's definitely a tough one to take on, but hopefully these tips will help you gain an advantage on them. Anyways, here's the rewards I got for defeating these guys. This is just a taste of, you know, the minor rewards that you can get from this. Here's actually all of the rewards that you can get from this segment. You can get the recipe paint job for the Enclave Epsilon squad combat armor. You can also get, once again, legendary shards, a chance at getting some of the Vulcan power armor pieces, and there's actually 2 unique weapons that'll come from this segment of the raid. You have a potential chance of getting the Resolve Breaker 4-star legendary weapon. And here's the effects that it comes with. It comes with the bladed effect, so damage increases up to 95%, has health decreases. It also replenishes 15 action points with each kill, which is freaking amazing. You also get plus 50 damage resistance while aiming, and when reloading, emit a shockwave that stuns nearby targets for 5 seconds. 10-second cooldown on it though, and fires 2 projectiles per shot with -5 durability as well. Freaking amazing. So yeah, it's a 2-shot bloodied grenade launcher. It's freaking insane. But yeah, it also states you can potentially be rewarded the Strike Breaker too, which there's been a name change with this one in the actual game, but in the files it's called the Strike Breaker. But yeah, as you can see, it's now called the Flatliner in game, and here's the effects on this one. It has plus 50% damage to humans, plus 50% chance to hit a target in VATS, plus 100% faster movement speed while aiming, plus 50% damage against legendary and raid combatants, plus 20% armor penetration, night vision, plus 40% reload speed, -5 durability, and bullets explode for 15% weapon damage. Wow. Shoo-wee! This looks awesome as well. And this is a Gauss rifle too, so yeah. Also, I got, of course, another trophy for taking on this part of the raid. As you can see, it's the Enclave member in the power armor. Alright, so anyways, once you get past this part, you'll then just have to go through the double doors that will unlock underneath B area. And this will lead down to another hub area where you can, you know, fix up your stuff and whatnot. If you want to change some perk cards around or make some ammunition, maybe repair your power armor or something, you can do all that here. There's also some lore pieces around in this area too, but I'm not going to be going over those once again in this video. This next part in the raid though, how you complete this part, first off, you start this segment by just pressing the button that's in front of the giant crystal down here. And speaking of this giant crystal, that's how you get past this part and destroy the hordes of enemies. Keep in mind, all of these enemies are invincible. Their kryptonite, or weakness, is by destroying the crystals while they are around them. They explode and deal damage to the enemies. And keep in mind, the enemies do get pretty powerful in here. You'll end up encountering a Deathclaw and stuff, so it gets really tricky at this part. And these enemies are no joke. Like, they can take you out fast. You know how I was mentioning before in this raid video over those mole miners that can one-hit you in the tight corridors? Yeah, you can find those here as well. So this is how you can officially take them out. You gotta destroy the Ultracite crystals around them, and they blow up and deal damage to them. It's pretty straightforward. You just got to try your best dodging the enemies that are around, because they can one-hit you. But yeah, this segment, just like the others, takes trial and error to do it. Over time, you'll get more familiar with the area and where the crystals are and places you can get to that the enemies can't and stuff like that. That'll help you beat this part. Like this crystal here you can get on top of. And you can also destroy this crystal too to deal damage to enemies as well. But this is a nice vantage point against enemies. You don't have to worry about dodging them anymore. Because, yeah, it's mainly just dodging the enemies during this. Damage really isn't a factor in this. You just gotta destroy the crystals to deal the damage. Some perk cards to swap to while just doing this part specifically would be squad maneuvers. This makes it so you run faster when part of a team, up to 20% faster, which is handy at this part because you'll be able to dodge easier. Also, Team Medic would be a good one to use too. That'll help keep everyone healed. And also Serendipity would be a good one too. And maybe some others that could increase your damage resistance too. Just be thinking about how it's mainly dodging in this segment. And the damage just goes to the crystals. And once you destroy the crystals, those explode to deal damage to the enemies. And of course, the marsupial mutation or a jetpack is a huge bonus during this part too. It makes it so you can dodge the enemies way easier. But yeah, once you officially take out the Ultragenetic Horde, that will complete this segment. And here's the rewards that I got from doing it, as you can see. The usual stuff, XP, caps, script, and some aid items and ammunition and whatnot. But yeah, you could definitely see that this is still in beta. I mean, look at the right side over there for the description of it. Point, item, name, all, caps left aligned. Description goes here, line 2, line 3. I mean, you get it. They're going to be updating the rewards, which is good. But anyway, speaking of the rewards, here's everything that you can get besides the trophy. As you can see, you can get the Ultracite power generator, and here's what it'll look like. This is the shield generator for the Epsilon squad that you have to destroy, which is pretty cool that you can get this and place at your camp. Also, you'll be rewarded legendary shards, and of course you have a chance of getting a piece of the Vulcan power armor or a mod for the set. And you'll have a chance of being rewarded 2 different weapons too from this one. You can potentially get the Cauterizer, which this thing looks amazing. As you can see, it's a unique chainsaw, and the effects on it are restore 2% health over 2 seconds when you hit a target, so the vampire's effect, plus 50% critical damage, plus 15 bonus VATS critical charge. Also, the greater the number of combat targets around you, the greater your damage output is going to be, which is the 4-star legendary. It also comes with plus 25% action point cost, plus 6 fire damage, and plus 5% armor penetration. Freaking insane, right? Oh man, there are some amazing weapons you can get out of this. But also for the other weapon called the Lickety Split, I know a lot of players are going to love this one too. This is a unique railway rifle that you can get. As you can see, the effects on this one is damage increases up to 25% as health increases. It also has replenished 15 action points with each kill. Also, it has an effect when you reload, you gain plus 250 ballistic damage and energy damage resistance. Also, its other effect is when you attack outside of VATS, you deal plus 50% bonus weak point damage. That's interesting. And also has negative 20% projectile damage, and railway spikes explode for 30 damage and attack staggered target. Shoo-wee, dude! Another amazing weapon that we can get our hands on. Also, I got a trophy as well from completing this segment too. Here's what the trophy looks like. It's the mole miner that can one-hit you. The Ultragenetic one. Looks like he's using a unique drill fist weapon that we can get from this raid. Pretty cool. But yeah, once we complete this, we then just want to traverse even deeper inside this raid, which you just gotta head up through the double doors past the button where you started this at. And yeah, this will lead to an elevator shaft that's been destroyed, and you just want to drop down in it. And this will lead you to the next hub before the final fight. You can find everything you need here to prep for battle, just like all the other previous raid segments. This is the final fight of this raid. And yeah, it is tough. As you can see here, you'll go out on this dock, and you'll see this freaking insane waterfall. It reminds me of what we see inside Fisher sites. I think this is supposed to be like melted ultracite or something, like the melted green crystals. But yeah, this is freaking insane in here. When I first saw this, I was just blown away by what it just looked like. And even traversing over to the snake, you gotta cross these rocks over to it. So cool. And you want to make sure that you're ready to go when you drop down in here. And on that note, I will say you want to wait for your whole team to be ready. Don't immediately go and just start the fight, because that's going to teleport players over to the fight, and they may not even be ready. You can wait on the island until everyone's ready, and then move forward a little bit, and that will trigger the fight. Keep that in mind. But yeah, This is just an insane fight, and how you take this on, first off, some perk cards I suggest to use is one, Funky Duds. That's going to help give you poison resistance, and you're going to see why you're going to need that further in this video. Funky Duds, by the way, is a legendary perk card. Obviously, you're going to get the most benefit out of this legendary perk card when it is completely maxed out too. But yeah, this will give you some insane poison damage resistance just to help you stay alive during the fight. You also want to have Team Medic on in some way, like maybe a teammate sharing it or something. That way, everyone can stay stocked up on health, because you could take some serious damage from this Ultracite Terror. It's no joke. It can melt through a lot of builds. This is definitely not something that will be beneficial taking on while being bloodied, I will say. At least from my experience. I was doing this at an extremely low level though, but yeah, having full health definitely benefited me. I even had a whole full set of unyielding power armor with some good bonus effects on it too, but I still chose to stay full health because that's what was helping out. But yeah, another perk card that I was told was beneficial was Ricochet as well. This helps deflect back some of the enemy's ranged damage. Also, another good legendary perk card to use and try to max as well is Taking One for the Team. This, if you have it maxed, will make it so enemies take 40% more damage when they attack you if you're on a team. Which obviously you're going to be on a team. But yeah, those are a few perk cards that could potentially help you out with this battle. Anyways, now that you know a few perk cards to use during this battle, let's get into how to defeat this thing. So in the beginning, it's all about just dealing as much damage as you can to lower him to the next phase. The beginning phase is just going to be some basic moves he'll be using against you that you're going to have to try to survive, as well as doing damage to the snake. And keep in mind, its attacks just isn't about spitting venom at you. One move that he uses will actually push you off the island, and that will cause you to die. So yeah, that's one that you want to be on the lookout for. He'll keep pushing you for a while. It has a lot of unique attacks and mechanics. Like something else that you got to be on the lookout for is when the acid just explodes out of the holes that's on the island too. The craters. Those just splash out acid. So yeah, you don't want to be standing on those when that happens. But yeah, overall, just try to survive these attacks and do a lot of damage to him. And eventually you're going to get him to about, I guess, quarter health. And that's when he's going to summon his Ultracite Terror Tail, which this is just another piece to the puzzle of this fight that you're going to have to worry about because it can take you out. And to top it off, while you are trying to take out the tail, you still have all of this lingering poison damage around on the island, that if you step in the radius of that poison, you're going to take some damage. So there's just a lot coming at you at once during this fight, which I think feels incredible. They actually did a phenomenal job with this Ultracite Terror fight. It feels so unique compared to any other creature that we've ever went against in Fallout, to be real. This is seriously insane. So yeah, before you start doing damage again, make sure you take out the tail, and then you just wanted to focus up on the Ultracite Terror again. You're going to be rinsing and repeating that for a little while. He's going to keep summoning his tail after you deal a certain amount of damage to him, and you're going to have to take out that tail and then focus up on the Ultracite Terror again with all of its mechanics and attacks that it'll use, and then it'll summon the tail again, and so on and so forth. I will say a big pointer is try to shoot in its eyes. I heard that's a weak point, a critical point for it to deal more damage, so keep that in mind. But yeah, overall it's a tough fight, and it's pretty straightforward on what you have to do. The hard part is trying to survive its powerful attacks. Anyways, here's the rewards that I got from this. Same thing as usual: XP, caps, script, aid items, ammunition, and over at the right side you can tell that this is still part of the public test server with the description goes here and whatnot. But anyways, here are all the data mine rewards that you can get from this final boss, besides the trophy. That's not listed in this list. But as you can see, you can get the Secret Operative Under Armor, and the effects on it are Scaly Skin Mutation. I guess we did just go against a Scaly Skin Beast to get this. It also comes with, unfortunately, negative 50 action points, but it also has on it plus 50 damage resistance and plus 50 energy resistance. So yeah, this is the Enclave Under Armor that you can get. Also, you have a chance of getting, the Vulcan Power Armor pieces and modifications for it, and you will also have a potential chance of getting 2 unique 4-star legendary weapons from this. Starting off with the Boiling Point, this thing looks freaking amazing, I gotta say, just the way it looks. But yeah, this is a flamethrower, hence the name. And the effects on it are plus 5 damage after each consecutive hit on the same target, up to 45%. So the Furious effect also oddly comes with plus 50% bash damage. That's kind of lame. Anyways, it also has plus 15% reload speed, and it also has when a combat target is burning, deal plus 50% bonus damage. That's the 4-star legendary effect. That's pretty awesome to have on a flamethrower. It also comes with plus 25 poison resistance and negative 5 durability on it. And the capacity for it is at 150. Overall, pretty good. I don't know why the bashing damage is on it, but hey, it is what it is. The other effects look pretty solid. Anyways, carrying on here, we also can get potentially this Ultracite Terror Sword. This is a freaking amazing looking melee weapon. It comes with plus 50% armor penetration, plus 40% weapon speed, negative 40% damage taken while power attacking, and when a combat target is poisoned, deal plus 50% bonus damage. It also has negative 5 durability, and it applies 30 poison for 10 seconds on contact. So yeah, that's when the plus 50% bonus damage comes in when you apply that poison effect. So this could dish out some serious damage. Also, you'll get the Ultracite Terror trophy too from completing the final part of this raid. Keep in mind that all the trophies seem to be guaranteed after completing each part. But yeah, this thing is huge. Here it is next to one of those members from that Enclave squad. Keep in mind, the rewards are not time gated, Bethesda mentioned, so you can keep doing the raid over and over and over to get these rewards and the power armor set and stuff. You don't have to wait until like the next day or something. This isn't a daily thing. You can do this literally over and over and over, which is cool. But yeah, there you guys have it, a comprehensive review and guide over the new Fallout 76 raid that we got called the Gleaming Depths. And I gotta say, Bethesda did a freaking fantastic job on this. I absolutely love it. Really enjoyed the experience piece. It just needs some polishing here and there, but overall, once it fully releases, I have a feeling this is going to get some really positive reviews from the community. This is some in-game content that piece I've been asking for. Also, we got some new Enclave content. This is an Enclave facility that we're going through. We take on a giant Enclave Guardian bot at the beginning and an Enclave Super Squad that we have to go up against and stuff like that. There's some lore pieces over this place that you can look into if you want to know the story about this. I may cover that in another video, but for now, this is all that I'm covering in this video. I covered a lot, so hopefully this helps introduce you guys to the raid. Of course, over time, I'll be learning even more about this raid, so maybe over time, I'll be sharing some more guides over how to get through this raid. Stay tuned for those. But yeah, I'm out of here though, everyone. As always, most importantly, appreciate y'all taking the time watching and listening. Until next time, peace.